Hello all, I'm Dr. Sarika Jhavre, Head Computer Engineering Department, AISSMS Institute of Information Technology. In this video, I'm going to explain about the requirement engineering, what exactly requirement engineering is and what is its importance in software development. So requirement engineering is accomplished through the execution of seven different functions. And these functions are inception, allocation, elaboration, negotiation, specification, validation, and requirement management. Actually, in inception means specifying the beginning of that software product. Okay, and that is raised from the customer side. If we want to have something like this system, right? In second is the allocation. So before the requirement can be analyzed and modeled, they must undergo through the process of allocation. So requirement allocation means requirement discovery. And actually this is very difficult phase of any project. So if this phase is correct, then only whatever we are going to do in next step that depends upon this particular phase. That's why allocation or discovery of the requirement or finalization, in simple word we can say that finalization of that correct requirement from the customer is the very important parameter. Then next is the elaboration. So whatever the requirement given by the customer is elaboration of that particular requirement. So elaboration of that particular requirement means whatever the requirement specify, just have a secure software. So security, but how much level you want that security. Likewise, each and every requirement get elaborated in elaboration section. Then negotiation with that requirement, because whatever they are specifying and what is their expectation, in that there might be a gap. So that gap get breached in negotiation phase. Then finally, by considering all these aspects, the perfect specifications are coming out of this discussion. Finally, whatever coming out, is it a valid? What is the validation of that in all the aspects, from the feasibility, technical, time feasibility, technical feasibility, and financial feasibility? By considering all these things, the validation will be done. And finally, the requirements management. So this is all about the requirement engineering and its different phases. And if we see this requirement engineering process, so this process, whatever I have discussed, in that process, what we realize that it depends upon the application, on which application we are working, then the people which are involved in this particular project as well as in this organization who are going to develop that particular requirement. Okay, next is however there are a number of generic activities common to all processes, because if you can see, this requirement gathering is the iterative process. See, till I'm not confirm what exactly this fellow wants, at that instant, till that instant I have to communicate with him by making use of different media, either by asking some questions, either by giving some forms, either by framing some questionnaires or something like this, just like a brainstorming sessions we can have related to clarification of that requirement. So we call them it as a requirement allocation, data collection technique, then requirement analysis, requirement validation, requirement management. And finally, in practice, requirement engineering is an iterative activity in which these processes are interlude. So as I'm saying that all these activities are interlude and repetitive and iterative till the final conclusion is not coming out of this. That's why it is represented. It is easy for representation of that requirement engineering into a spiral view. So spiral view of requirement engineering process is like this. If you can say in the center, after start means requirement allocation. So we start the requirement discovery process. So start after that in requirement specification, business requirement specification. What is the meaning of this inner cell? So business requirement specification means here that particular project, or at least the name of that project, is identified by the customer. So customer is now thinking he wants to have something like this system, suppose. Now whenever he propose that system with the developer team, or you can say any organization from whom they want to get it developed, So they will go through that, and is it a feasible initial level, is it a feasible whatever that customer is saying, is it a feasible, that feasibility study will be done under the phase of requirement validation. Okay, so once that organization find yes it is feasible, then again that moves to the user requirement indication. That is nothing but blind statement. One in first phase or inner phase, if you can see, very simple or straightforward statement is proposed by the what we can say that particular client. Now in user requirement indication, whatever he has proposed, detail of that requirement, that is nothing but user requirement indications. Their focus initially on the user requirement. Once that requirement is over, now moving to the requirement specification. That requirements are converted into the specification. So to have that requirement possible, what are the specifications of this requirement that get finalized? Now moving to again the validation function, the as the requirements are specified, then their prototype, they can start preparing the prototype. If these are the requirement, so something like this will be the structure of this particular project. Okay, now it's a prototype that is designed by the validation phase. Now system requirement, now moving to now user requirement part is over. 2 to 3 times we have communicated with the user, and whatever his requirement, at extent that requirement is collected from him. Now moving further is whatever customer is saying or whatever the customer's requirement we have finalized, what about the system requirement based on that customer requirement or user requirement. So for that purpose, system requirement allocation is start. Now, if you can see system requirement allocation, it is the discussion among the developer team or organization side discussion, or organization side stakeholder will get involved into system requirement allocation. So what is the meaning of this? So to develop this software, which technologies are suitable for the so and so technology? Do we have the such a type of a manpower? Do we have a infrastructure? Something likewise discussion that frames the system requirement allocation. Then based on the availability and allocation and clear requirement, system requirement specification and modeling is there. And finally means what happened, user has given the requirement, customer, or you can say customer has given the requirement. Now organization collect all that requirement, they understand all that requirement. Based on what they understood, they have designed some prototype. Based on that prototype, now their stakeholder organization technical team, we can call it, that they think over this, is it feasible, and if to convert it into the deployable project, what sort of system requirements are there. Once that requirements are finalized, then the reviews on that requirement will be taken, and finally the system requirement document get ready. Actually, this is what the view of total requirement engineering process. And if you can say, most of the activities 2 3 times we are doing the similar activity to get the fineness clear, or we can say customer also get clear with whatever his requirements. So in this way, this requirement allocation and analysis goes on. So requirement engineering, sometimes called requirement allocation or requirement discovery. Yes, final intention is that we must discover the requirement exactly from the user. Once we get user's requirement very much clear, then it will be very much easy for the organization to find out the system's requirement. So it involved technical staff working with customer to find out about the application domain, the service that the system should provide, and the system's operational constraint. Yes, that's why the user requirement, first of all, we have to finalize, and then thinking about the system requirement and what are the constraints, possible constraints might be there. So thinking on that. So it may involve end users, managers, engineers involved in maintenance, domain experts, etc. And these are called as stakeholders. So even though we are in the very basic stage of any project, that is just the requirement gathering, then also in that gathering phase also we need all the technical person, all the what we can say stakeholders related to that particular project. So that's why requirement engineering is very important initial and very important phase, where all the clarification related to that project must get complete. Then only the success of that project depends upon this particular phase. So this is all about the way how data is going to collect. But now next part comes as a documentation part. Whatever the collected document, how we can going to how the repository or how we are going to keep it in a structure format. For that purpose, IEEE has suggested IEEE SRS format. So every software project, they are after requirement analysis or requirement gathering, they transfer it into the SRS, that is software requirement specification. So IEEE format of SRS I'm going to explain in my next video along with the case study. Thank you all. Thank you for watching my video.